What is going on, everybody? It is January. It is 2025. It is Samp and Chance Boxing. Mr. Michaels, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I can't complain, man. The weekend is quickly fast upon us. Here we go. Another quiet week in the world of boxing. Nothing
Yeah.
really, really major happening. No major fights happening this week. I don't think anything really starts to pick up until the 24th. Really, that's the first big fight that we have,
When the
anyway,
monster's
versus
back.
Kim.
Yeah.
Right? The monster's back. We'll talk about that next week. We don't want to give too much away here.
Hmm.
Let's start off the show. Mr. Tyson Fury says, "Hello, everybody. I'm retiring." And Dick Turpin wore a mask. I don't, unless you're English, you wouldn't understand that reference. I don't want to get into it, but Tyson retires again. Is this real or not?
I think it's real this time. Simple fact, a couple things here. What an amazing career. He's one of the best heavyweights of this era. Second best, obviously he was just the best. He's 36 now, so he still has a couple big fights left. But look at it from this perspective. He just lost two fights back to back to Usyk. Close fights. He wasn't hurt. Well, he got walked once, but he was not really hurt. He came away with all of his marbles. He got rocked in the Wilder fight. Like I've been saying before, once you're 35, 36, you're that size, your reflexes slow down a little bit. Only thing for him to go now is down. You could fight Joshua and have a huge payday and a huge fight. These guys made so much money. So he beat Joshua, he beats you, then what? You're never getting back to the belts again. What are you going to wait till Usyk retires or loses and try to get it that way? It's like the only way to go from here is down for him.
Yeah.
Had he beaten Usyk, he would have kept fighting, but now there's really nothing else from left to do. He's filthy rich. It would have been. I wanted him to stick around to fight Joshua to see who the king of Britain is for the heavyweights. We're not going to get that fight, so I
I
think
don't
he's
know.
done this time.
I'm going to take the different, I'm going to
But
take
you
a,
never know with Fury.
well, okay, right. I'm going to take the different approach. I don't think he is retired. I think this is just another ploy of his because think about it. Okay,
Could
look,
be.
you're right. Everything you said is correct. I agree with you. There is no title in his vision anymore,
Mm-hmm.
right? The only one that he can technically go for is the one that's going to be, after February, we're going to see if it's going to be Dubois or Parker.
Mm-hmm.
That's realistically the only title that he can technically go for.
Yeah,
That's the only title that Joshua can technically go for.
yeah.
So, in my thinking, the only path, there's two paths here, right? That fight's going to happen. Okay. It has to happen. It's going to
What, Fury
happen
versus
this year.
Joshua?
Yeah, it's going to happen this year. The only problem with that one and the only fear going into that fight for those two guys is you can't lose that one. Neither one can.
Whoever loses is finished if they
Well,
have it.
that's it,
Yeah.
right? And so that's probably the fear in both their minds, in my opinion, right? You got to have a bit of fear, and that is a fear right there.
Oh yeah.
These two fight, one's going to have to lose,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's very, very rare that you're going to get a draw in this instance, right? I mean, so you're going to look at a fight where potentially whoever wins Dubois Parker will probably end up fighting the winner of that one,
Yeah.
which could potentially lead up to another Usyk fight again.
Oh no, he's beat all these guys,
No, no, no,
right?
no, no. But I'm just saying. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the potential here, right? That's the only way those two can have a title is that IBF one. That's
Yep.
the only one available to them. The other ones aren't there anymore for them. I get that. And I agree with it. The fear for both these guys is the fact that, okay, we're going to get into this. Yeah, we're going to make a shitload of money, blah, blah, blah. But one of us is going to have a huge stain on everything here. No matter all that, like you look at Deontay Wilder, okay, before he
Who's
ran
coming back to fight again, by the way?
right, he's coming back to fight, which is a huge mistake. Okay,
Yeah.
it's like, and God bless him, I love Bob Dylan. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but the Bob Dylan I loved was from the 60s and the 70s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw him live, that's the only show I ever went into, and I walked out feeling like I just got ripped off
Mm-hmm.
because it wasn't the Bob Dylan I expected to see. He was a former shell of himself, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same like hockey players. Like, okay, hang them up at your top. Like don't let your career diminish.
That might be what Fury's doing, realizing he's for reflex or something just a little bit. He's so filthy rich. He's like, I don't want to do this. No, there's no point. I don't want to look like a fool.
And to be honest, like he trained really hard. He did everything right for this fight, and he still couldn't get it done.
Yeah, he fought a good fight. Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? It wasn't like if you were going to retire after the first one when you were wobbled and you looked like you were, done.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Deontay, what he's doing right now is hurting his bigger picture. What are people going to remember him for? People have a short memory, right?
Mm-hmm.
They forget that this guy had a 99% knockout ratio. This, people forget this guy went 40-0, sort of a deal, just dominating everybody. But I
Maybe
mean,
maybe if Fury is done, like he says, maybe we'll see Wilder and Joshua finally. But we never got to see.
I mean, again, that's a gimme for Joshua. I think Joshua finishes him,
Oh yeah, he would.
right?
Not the old Wilder would have destroyed him, but not the new Wilder. No.
No, no, for sure. All right, man. So I think that fight's gonna happen. I think it's just a ploy. I think it's just a gimmick that he's just throwing out there. He's not naive to not take this fight, right? And I would have believed it if there wasn't a Turkish Al Sheikh involved in here.
Yeah, he's going to offer them a lot of money. He won't be able to say no to
Right?
it.
If Turkish wasn't around, then yeah, okay, fine. I can see this being the case, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then again, if Turkish wasn't around, I don't think we'd see Canelo versus Crawford this September potentially. That's the talk right now. It's apparently signed. I don't know. I don't have
Yeah, they
confirmation,
haven't made it official yet, but that's the rumors are heating
but
up.
that's the
That's what's going to
rumor,
happen.
right? And I know we're far away from that, but dude, initial thoughts. Do you think it's a
So
good fight?
super long. If it happens, a super long layoff for both these guys. It'll be what, a year and a half since they fought. And they're both
Well,
going to step in the
no,
ring.
Canelo fights twice a year.
But he won't. But he hasn't fought since May. So if he waits till September, he's not going to fight in May. If he's going to fight Crawford in September, he won't fight till September now. That's a
Who
long
knows?
layoff.
Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah,
But
I
I
think
mean,
it'll happen. There's too much money not for it not to happen.
I think it's a bad move for Crawford.
He thinks
He's
he can
biting off.
outbox him.
He's biting off more than he can chew.
I know Canelo hits real hard.
Right? I mean, it'd be a different story if Canelo went down or if they met somewhere in the middle. But the fact that this dude's jumping up from 156 to 168, like we've talked about this time and time again, there's a reason there's weight classes, man. Those 4 pounds make a huge difference.
Oh yeah, I think it will happen. It's not official yet, but that's what they're saying. I hope so. Be a good fight.
It's going to be a good fight. I mean, never say never, but I just think that it favors Canelo through and through.
Yeah, he's heavier. He's stronger. Crawford's probably more technically a better boxer, probably, but a little quicker. But should be a heck of a fight.
Yeah, but Crawford's even showing that he's slowing down now. He's not
Yeah, he's in his
stepping
mid
out
to
of the
late 30s
way,
now, right?
right? He's not stepping out of the way of things that he normally would have.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you're not moving as fast as you normally do, is
Gonna
that a
get hit.
result of fighting lesser talent and not preparing properly? Or are we looking at a Crawford that's slowing down too?
A combination of everything you just said. It's all the
Right?
above.
So, I mean, this fight would totally, right off the top of my head, we don't know. We're only in January, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we still have summer to go and spring to come. Nothing's bloomed yet. The trees are still dead. So,
Yeah.
early thoughts, I think it's a stupid move for Crawford. You're going to hurt yourself because you've been calling for this so long just to be humiliated. It's like Seth Rollins calling out Punk continuously and then losing on Raw.
I think for Crawford, he thinks in his mind that he can beat Canelo. Maybe he will. He wants to add to his legacy. And if the main thing, he wants a big, big, big payday, which he will definitely get.
I don't know. I get it, man, but I think he's doing it wrong. That's huge jump of weight.
It's a big, big weight difference. He's going to feel
Huge.
those punches, dude. He's never been hit that hard. He's going to get hit by Canelo because Canelo hits hard.
Charlo, that was just 8 pounds,
mm-hmm.
and he couldn't do nothing. We're talking about 14, 15 pounds here, man.
I know. I guess he feels he can do it. So let's see what he can do. He is a skilled boxer.
And if he's already slow at 147, 154, how much lower is this guy going to get with all the extra weight?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what's going to happen here, but I hope it happens.
That's why they're putting it to September instead of May because he needs that extra time to fucking acclimatize and get used to all the weight.
Yeah. I think he'll be all right, but it should be a fun fight, though. Speaking of Turkish, he did those Ring Magazine Awards, and he put on a heck of a show there.
It's a fun show, eh?
Yeah, it was a fun show. He had a lot of the top boxers. Not everybody. Some guys that weren't there. Obviously, Mayweather wasn't there. Pacquiao. You can't have everybody there.
No.
But it was a good event. Roberto Duran was there. There's legends at Holyfield was there. Yep. Lewis was there.
Lewis is a promoter now.
What's that?
Lewis is a promoter now. Too,
yeah, he is. Yeah,
so he's promoting his guy on the Bivol Better Beef card here.
Which February 22nd, stacked card.
Dude, that card is just amazing through and through. I watched the press conference yesterday.
Phenomenal. Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, that was a cool kick offer too, man.
It was really, really cool. I mean, I don't know if there's a card greater than that one this year. I just don't see it.
As of right now, no. But there's still more to come. Because Turkish ain't done this. He's just getting started, dude.
The Smith, Bautista fight is even amazing.
Mm-hmm. They stacked the card. He knows. He realized what UFC does. UFC puts on a good show, top to bottom. So he's realizing we got to do that boxing. Not just give you two good fights and a
Well,
bunch of guys you don't know about. We're going to give you all the good guys
no,
that we
and
can.
what Turkish is doing, and he said this, he said that we need to take boxing to that type of model where you're like the biggest thing in boxing was everyone would protect their own,
Mm-hmm.
right? And everyone in boxing, fans alike, always feel that if a guy loses his own, then his career's over.
Yeah.
Right? Which is not true. You don't lose your status, you don't lose your legend, you don't
Not at
lose your
all.
legacy. You look at Muhammad Ali, still greatest of all time, considering everything. Greatest of, just the aura of Muhammad Ali. He lost 5, 6 times.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Cocky
Right?
has lost. Lots of guys have
Right.
lost.
So I think that's the thinking that he's trying to change. That in
Well,
order
Mayweather kind of brought that, protect the O kind of thing. Kind of like a Mayweather brought that more mainstream. Before that, nobody really cared. You wanted to win, but if you had 3 or 4 losses, it wasn't the end of the world. So
it
long as you put an
wasn't the
exciting
end of the
fight.
world. It becomes the end of the world when you start losing back to back to back to back,
Mm-hmm.
aka Deontay Wilder, aka Tyson Fury.
Yeah,
That's when you have to start to think, okay, maybe I should stop now. Right?
yeah,
Even in UFC and MMA, when guys like Usman and Adesanya start losing more than they're winning, then you have to think about, okay, what's going on?
yeah, yeah.
Right?
Totally agree.
Right. But I mean, that doesn't change the legacy of a Conor McGregor who's lost a few times, but he still can show up at any time and get the fight he wants when he wants
Yeah, I make a ton of money.
and make a ton of money, right? So this is what Turkish is saying. He wants to try to install now, change that culture. But oh yeah, I get it. You're fighting for your O, which can be the storyline of the fight if you don't have any titles
Mm-hmm.
involved, right? And that's the beauty of it. There's a few fights on the 22nd where these guys are up and coming, and you're getting the best of the best fighting each other right now.
Dude,
Like, for
he's loading the
example,
cards.
Shakira versus Schofield. Everyone's saying Schofield doesn't stand a chance. He wasn't at the press conference yesterday.
We don't know that. We can say that. When we say that's when these guys end up winning.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. And I take nothing away from Shakira. Shakira is one of my favorite guys to watch. Right. But I mean, again, any given night, that's the beauty of it. So I like the direction that he's taking it into. Connor Ben versus Chris Eubank Jr. set for April, apparently, as well. Turkish not fucking around, man.
No, he's got the money, right? You pull the money on the table, the people are going to do it, and that's a good fight too. He has
I'm
all these
looking
fights.
forward to
He's
that
making them
because
happen.
this one has a lot built up into it. The dad's fought. These two don't
The
like each
big
other.
history.
The drug, the PED usage, the timeline of it all. Back and forth, back and forth. Honestly, at the end of the day, though, if you had to pick one guy to back up, who would you back?
To win the fight.
Well, just in general, if you had to stand behind one guy.
Well, Connor got caught doing the steroids, right? So I got to go with Nigel.
Uh, Eubank?
Yeah, you.
Chris.
Sorry,
Chris.
Yes, Chris Eubank. Sorry. Yeah.
Nigel was yeah. You know what? If we're
I
just
don't really
basing
care
it,
who wins the fight. I want to see a good fight, but we all know Connor Ben cheated a couple times, right? So I don't like that.
yeah. I don't like it either, but I think there's more future with Connor Ben than there is Eubank.
Could be.
I just find that when Eubank talks, he's just a little smug.
He's got that about him.
Right. And if I have to be nitpicky and pick a guy, I'd probably pick Connor Ben because I don't think I can deal with that smugness.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I just want to see a good fight. This is real hatred here. There's real history here. He's gonna, Eubank's gonna play well. You cheated. You did all the drugs and steroids, and you know what I mean. It's gonna be so much hype here.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
know
looking forward to it.
for sure. Brother man, I think we've talked a lot here. I don't know.
We covered it all.
Is there anything else you got on your mind that you want to talk about that you've seen or heard?
Yeah, well, we got a couple things coming up here. February 7th, there's 2 big events going down in Vancouver. Number one, obviously, our CAW show is going down, Wrestling at Hastings. But the reason why I'm bringing that up, the same day, February 7th, they're finally bringing fights back at the River Rock. We got a couple of Canadian heavyweight champions coming in for the fights. That's on February 7th at the River Rock. Also the same day, my buddy's got both of his rings at both these places. I got the inside. We're doing the CAW show at Hastings. So if you want boxing on February 7th or you want some wrestling, Vancouver's got you covered.
Well, I'll tell you what, brother man, if it's okay with you, I'd like us to be at the boxing show.
I can definitely make that happen.
I think we should go there. I mean, we've been to a lot of wrestling shows, but we haven't had the opportunity to.
We could get in there nice and early because obviously, my good friend has all the rings and he sets up, takes down. So We got
So
that.
guys, if you got
Definitely.
nothing to do and you want to meet us, we'll probably be at that show.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's a good
Right?
card. You got. I can't remember the exact who's
Yeah.
all in the card, but I know there's a couple Canadian heavyweight champions. There's a heavyweight champion Canadian belt, and there's
Jay,
another middleweight Canadian belts on the
will
line.
Jay be there?
He's not on the card.
We should be there, man. That
He'll
he
probably be in attendance, but he's not. He's not
okay.
fighting.
Awesome,
If
awesome.
he's not, I'll invite him.
Yeah, yeah, definitely,
I'm sure he
definitely.
already will be there, but I'll reach out to him and let him know.
Awesome. Sounds awesome, awesome. All right, brother man. Anything in the world of boxing history or Canadian history?
There's so much in boxing history. I was just going to give you guys a couple things here because this is a
Please.
big week, actually. So I'm going to go with a name that everybody knows. I'm going to pull it up right here. Ray Boom Boom Mancini. What a name, eh?
Mancini.
Boom Boom. Yeah, yeah.
Boom, boom.
He scored the last victory of his career this week in boxing history, 1984. He made his fourth defense of the WBA lightweight title, third round TKO over another good nickname, Schoolboy Bobby Chacon at the Lawler Event Center in Reno, Nevada this week, 1984. Schoolboy versus Boom Boom. What nicknames? They don't have good nicknames like they used to.
Boom, boom, Mancini, man. I love that.
Yeah. And
Classic.
one more thing, I recommend the show because of WWE being on Netflix now. I came across one of my favorite actors just by flipping through. It's called No Good Deeds. It's got Ray Romano in there from Everybody Loves
Everybody
Raymond.
loves Raymond.
And oh my God, what a show. It's like
Is
8
it good?
episodes or whatever. I've only watched 2. It's unbelievable.
Okay, I'll check it out. We'll check it out.
I
Everybody
wouldn't have
check
known
it
if
out.
it wasn't for Raw. So
Here's something else I wanted to bring up very quickly before we walk away. They got to start bringing stuff back to Vegas here, man. Someone posted a video. What was it? Thursday night on the strip, dead. Like Vegas, no one's going to Vegas.
well, it's kind of a dead time right. Well, February 1st, we got the Benavides Morel fight. So
No,
there's
no,
something
no, I
popping
get
there.
that, but I'm just saying in general, like it just there shouldn't have to have so many events going on, like not just because of boxing. They have so many events that are happening there all the time. But I think Vegas needs to take a step back and figure this out because they made it very, very expensive for anyone to want to go there unless you got stupid money.
Yeah, it's cheap to get there, but to get you on the spending money.
Right? I mean, even if you leave the strip to go buy drinks or anything, they're charging you almost $4 or $5 more than they used to 2 years ago.
Yeah, you're talking about it in the old Vegas. That's why you got to go to the stores on the strip there. Like, what are those
No,
called?
that's what I'm saying. Even there.
The Target and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Even when you go there, like where before you could get a can for $2, now it's five.
Yeah, I was in Vegas in July. Yeah, I was like $5-6 for a tall can of Bud Light now.
Right.
If you
Whereas,
buy in the casino, it's like 15. So it's a little bit cheaper, but they still brought it up big time.
yeah. All right, brother man. Let's call this a wrap. This has been a great show. We'll get back into some more formats and stuff once things start happening here. But this free run conversation is also a lot of fun as well.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Bobby Sampson. He's Mr. Chance Michaels.
And the words of the great ACDC, those that download and like and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you. And everybody, I say this time and time again, work hard, work hard, work hard to achieve whatever that you want to achieve. Do not listen to the naysayers because the naysayers don't want to work hard and they don't want anyone else to succeed. And that's how they get their happiness. So don't make them happy. Make yourself happy. Samp and Chance out.